Good morning, students. In our last video, we have discussed about the crop rotation and its advantages. Crop rotation controls the pest and weeds. It reduces the need of fertilizers, and by alteration with deep and shallow rooted crops, the soil may be utilized more completely. Next, we are going for the crop variety improvement. How we can improve the variety of a crop. The art of recognizing valuable traits. Valuable traits means important properties, like important properties of crop, and incorporating them for future generation. Incorporating means change करना, उनको increase करना, उनको corporate मतलब high level पर लेकर आना. To future generation is very important. That is known as the plant breeding. So what is plant breeding? The art of recognition of valuable traits and incorporating them into future generation is known as the plant breeding. First is the mutation. How mutation helps in plant breeding? Such traits occasionally arise spontaneously. What happens, आपको पता ही होगा कि जैसे हमने कोई भी एक क्रॉप ग्रो की तो उसके लिए सीड्स की रिक्वायरमेंट है. अब क्या होगा, जो नई क्रॉप हम हार्वेस्ट करेंगे उसमें से जो बेस्ट क्रॉप है उसको हम रख लेते हैं फॉर द नेक्स्ट ईयर सीड, ताकि हम उसे दोबारा से ग्रो करवा सकें. सो दैट इज नोन एज द म्यूटेशन. ओकेजनली अराइज, दैट इज द स्पॉन्टेनियसली कॉल्ड म्यूटेशन. अब ऐसा कुछ भी होता है कि अब जो नई हमें अच्छी क्रॉप दिख रही है उसमें क्या है, अपने आप से ही कुछ नई प्रॉपर्टीज आ जाती हैं. दैट इज नोन एज द म्यूटेशन. द नेचुरल रेट ऑफ म्यूटेशन इज वेरी स्लो. नेचुरल रेट इज स्लो, अपने आप चेंजेस बहुत कम आते हैं. सो वी हैव टू डू इट विद द आर्टिफिशियली. द प्लांट ब्रीडर्स सिलेक्ट प्लांट वैरायटीज विद डिजायर्ड कैरेक्टर्स. अब हमें क्या करना है, वी हैव टू सिलेक्ट द प्लांट वैरायटीज हैविंग सम characters and cross them to develop new offsprings which has new traits of better yield and disease resistant. Now what happens, you know about the breeding that is done by the you can say butterflies or bees. Okay, so honey bees, when there are two varieties present in the same field, then there is cross pollination, that is known as the cross breeding. Okay, cross them to develop new springs. When cross pollination is there, then there is new product, new variety formed that is having better yield and disease resistant properties. Next is the need for the crop improvement. The main aim of crop improvement is to increase the crop yield. It helps to improve the quality of crops. The crop is capable to handle the biotic and abiotic factors. Further हम discuss करेंगे biotic and abiotic factors क्या हैं. Biotic factor means disease और insect, जैसे rat हो गए या फिर कोई भी mites हो गई. And abiotic factors, that is the temperature, cold, pressure, waterlogging, etc. These are the abiotic factors. To change in maturity time by taking the short time duration crop. Next is the plant duration. It is the production of new varieties by a program of artificial selection and improving their genetic behavior is known as the plant breeding. Next very important type of plant breeding is known as the hybridization. The crossing between genetically dissimilar plants to produce a new kind of plant is known as hybridization. ये अगर हम मैनुअली करते हैं इन लैब्स वगैरह में, अगर ऐसा कोई प्रोसेस करवाते हैं तो उसको हम क्या नाम देते हैं, हाइब्रिडाइजेशन. इंडिया क्रॉप्स आर ग्रोन इन डाइवर्स टाइप ऑफ सॉइल एंड क्लाइमेटिक कंडीशंस. सो कीपिंग इन माइंड different kind of pest application disease are there, so we have to produce a large type of varieties. So there are large varieties in our India. So out of these some varieties are shown here, are written here. For example, cereals में राइस की वैरायटी कौन सी है, जया है, हीरा है, धन है, या फिर पूसा बासमती बहुत ज़्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है, यूज़ करते हैं. आपको कॉमनली जो आपको मिलता है दैट इज 11, 21, मुच्छल, ये बहुत सारी वैरायटीज़ हैं राइस की. सिमिलरली वीट की बात करें तो वीट की भी बहुत सारी वैरायटीज़ हैं, जैसे 2496, 318, ये आप इन नंबर्स के नाम से जानते हो। शरबती दैट इज द जिसको एमपी की सबसे बढ़िया देसी कणक कहते हैं, शरबती कणक जिसका आशीर्वाद आटा भी बनता है। पूसा, लरमा, ये दीज आर ऑल द एग्जांपल्स ऑफ व्हीट varieties. Next is maize varieties, Ganga. Chickpea varieties, that is BE244. So these are all the examples of the varieties, which are the different varieties. Next is the mustard. Mustard very important. You can remember Pusa Gold, Kranti, Pusa Agni. Okay, so these are example of the hybridization. Next is the mutation breeding. Mutation are the sudden inheritance variations which are produced at random through gamma radiation and number of physical and chemical agents. If some number of physical and chemical agents, like we are increasing the temperature on crop, then it is known as the mutagens. Okay, we are sending the chemical fertilizer to the crop, that is the chemical agent. So these are example of the mutation breeding. Next is the DNA recombinant technology. This technology refers to transfer of genes. This is completely scientific. Transfer of genes from one organism to another organism so as to modify later is known as the genetically modified organism. Okay, it is very easy how that is the known as the, जैसे अगर मुझे कोई भी जीन्स कोई भी क्रॉप के सीड्स लिए, उसमें किसी भी जो मेरे पास कोई भी जर्म्स हैं, डिजीज हैं, उसके जीन्स डाल दिए, दैट इज नोन एज द डीएनए रिकम्बिनेंट टेक्नोलॉजी. फॉर एग्जांपल एक छोटा सा एग्जांपल देता हूँ. अगर हम सिंपल कॉटन लगाते हैं तो उसमें माइट्स यानी सुंडी बहुत ज़्यादा बढ़ जाती है, लेकिन अगर हम बीटी कॉटन लगाते हैं तो उसमें सुंडी नहीं पड़ती. तो व्हाट हैपन्स, क्या किया उन्होंने, चेक किया कि सुंडी को अगर कड़वे पत्ते दिए जाएं तो वो उस पर ग्रो नहीं कर सकती. तो क्या किया, बीटी कॉटन बनाया गया जिसमें नॉर्मल कॉटन के साथ जो उसके लीव्स थे उसमें सम एडिशन कर दी, किसकी, जीन्स की. कौन से, नीम के जीन्स की, जिसमें कड़वाहट हो. सो अब जो नए जीन्स प्रोड्यूस है दैट इज नोन एज द डीएनए रिकम्बिनेंट टेक्नोलॉजी, और यहाँ पर ये बहुत ही अच्छी क्वालिटी बनी. नेक्स्ट अब हम चलते हैं इसके बाद, आफ्टर दिस दैट इज द क्रॉप प्रोटेक्शन मैनेजमेंट. हाउ टू प्रोटेक्ट द क्रॉप. We can protect the crop from pests, weeds, etc. And pest is the organisms which can cause the loss of crops. First is pesticides, which kill the pest, or insects are known as pesticides or insecticides. Weedicides, which kill weeds. They cause pollution and very harmful for the health. What are weeds? These are the unwanted plants grown along with the main crop. They compete with main crop and takes all the sunlight, nutrient and water. Example is amaranthus, cholai, wild oats, etc. So what are the methods to remove the weeds? First is the type of weeds. There are two type of weeds. First is the narrow leaf. Narrow means patle, छोटे पत्ते वाले, that is the monocot weeds. And broad leaf, उनको हम कहते हैं dicot leaves. ये दोनों रबी सीजन में अलग होते हैं और खरीफ में अलग होते हैं. So monocot leaves in Rabi season is the wild sorghum, and in Kharif season is wild sorghum, and in Rabi season is wild oats. Broad leaves in Kharif season is amaranthus, that is cholai, and in Rabi crop it is the chanopodium, that is bathua. How can we remove the weeds? That is, first is by mechanical method. खुरपी से, हाथ से, जैसे भी करके हमने बाहर निकाल दिया, दैट इज नोन एज द मैकेनिकल मेथड. सेकेंड इज द कल्चरल मेथड बाय द प्रॉपर बेड प्रिपरेशन, दैट इज द बाय टिल्टिंग और बाय क्रॉप रोटेशन. ओके, दिस इज द कल्चरल मेथड. नेक्स्ट इज द केमिकल मेथड. सम weedicides are there which spray on crops to kill the weeds. They specially kill weeds. Example is 2,4-D. Very important example. One is there, and second is the isoproteron. Next is the biological control. These are the biological weeds which use the insects to consume the weeds. The best Indian example of biological weed is that is the optina, that is cactus. Okay, so this is all about the weeds and how to remove the weeds. Next is the how we can control the pest. Pests are uh, very serious for plants because they attacks the crop by chewing and sucking insects. Chewing crops which destroy all the sort of crops, which chew the leaves and they cut roots and by using the part of mouth. Example is locusts and grasshoppers. Sucking insects are known as the which suck the cell sap, which sucks the liquid and food which prepared, that is leaf hoppers, plant bugs. Insecticides, these are the chemicals which used to kill the insects, that is malathion. There are four type of crop diseases. First is the seed borne, जो सीड के साथ फैलते हैं, बीज के साथ आते हैं, that is known as the seed borne disease. Second is soil borne disease, which is the present along the soil, okay, which mostly attacks the roots and stem. Next is the airborne, जो हवा से होते हैं, जैसे moisture जब extra होगा तो उससे जो फैलते हैं, that is the blast of rice. Next is the waterborne, जो पानी के अंदर फैलते हैं, तो transmitted by water. ओके इनके लिए हर किसी के लिए हमारे पास डिफरेंट केमिकल होता है फॉर डिफरेंट like for rice we can use the control, that is the thiron. For the wheat that is having the disease of rust, we can spray diathan. Diathan is the most important weedicide which can be sprayed on anyone. Okay, malathion can be sprayed on anyone. Next is the storage of grains. How can we store the grains? Most of the crops are harvested only once in a year and they are available in plenty of whole year. So getting food supply throughout the year, we have to store the food. Cereals are stored in the three levels. First is at the producer, at the farmer level. Second is at the trader level, that is in the gunny bags, and third is at the FCI, that is Food Corporation of India. This is in the storing grains, silos, very big warehouses. Okay. Next is about the biotic and abiotic factors. What are biotic factors? Biotic factors are the factors which are the season based organisms, which are produced organisms. Example, insects, rodents, rats, squirrel, mouse. These are about the biotic factors. And what are the abiotic factors? These are the factors which are depends on the temperature and moisture. The growth of insects and microorganisms stored in the food material depend on the fluctuation of temperature. As temperature increases, the microorganism growth will be decreases. But if the temperature is optimum between 25 to 35 degrees Celsius, then the microorganisms are most active. Effect of moisture. For safe storage, moisture can be removed. If there is moisture present, then it is the chances of the most of the insects, that is mites or some yeast, fungi, etc. to be present in the crops. Next is prevention and control. Harvested crop must be dried before storing. The agriculture and products should be properly cleaned. Godowns, warehouse and tanks are cleaned, dried and properly repaired. The pesticides should be sprayed over gunny bags to prevent the pest. Next we are coming is that is the animal husbandry. The branch of agriculture which deals with the feeding, caring and breeding of domestic animals is known as the animal husbandry. Cattle farming, we are generally using the cattle for milk. The scientific name of cow is Bos indicus and that of buffalo is Bublus bublis. What are the draught breeds? Draught breeds are used for the meat. Those animals, those cattle which are used for meat and they give very little milk are known as the draught breeds. They are also used for tilling, like bullocks, for carting purpose, that is for the transport and for the irrigation purpose. Dairy breeds, they have large digestive system and converts maximum food into milk, so they are used for the milk producing. Next is the breeds of that is a dual purpose. That is an example मुर्रा भैंस बहुत ज़्यादा important है, बहुत नाम सुना होगा. महसाना सुरती, these are the common breeds of buffaloes. They are high milk yielding. Next is the breeds of cow. That is the red Sindhi. Red Sindhi red color और dark red और light red color की shades में होती है. That is the red Sindhi. Next is the Sahiwal. That is very important. The animal is very large and heavier. It gives a large amount of milk. Gir is found in the Gujarat and very good milk yielder. Next is the breeds of buffalo. I am discussed about Murra and Mehsana Surti. This is very important breeds which give a high yielding milks. Next is the method of breeding. Breeding means to change their properties. It takes place by natural method when cross breeding between the desi cow and bull of high milk yielding exotic breed by natural mating. Okay, that is known as the natural method of breeding. Next is the artificial. Nowadays artificial method is generally used. In this method, breeding by scientific method known as artificial insemination. Insemination means in means enter करवाना, semination means semen. Semen means the genes, that is the properties of the bulls. The process of injecting semen obtained from desired male bull of high milk yielding breed into the reproductive tract of female is known as the artificial insemination. Next we are coming for the precautions. The semen should be obtained from the high quality milk, high quality breed. The female animal selected should be healthy and sound breeding age. That is the proper age of reproduction. Artificial insemination should be carried out only at the proper heat period. The instruments should used in artificial insemination should be properly sterilized. What are the advantages? Bull of selected breeds are kept in climatic conditions for their healthy living. Bulls are reared in most hygienic conditions. Through selective breeding, animals of desired characters can be raised. It is economically cheaper because semen from single bull can be used to impregnate several thousands of cows, that is about 3000. Semen can be easily transported. High quality semen is available all the time. This method is most reliable and gives a high rate of successful fertilization. Next is the farm management. The farmhouse should be neat and clean so as to obtain the good milk and good health of animals. The shelter should be provided with proper ventilation and proper feed eaten by animals is known as feed. Food eaten by animals is known as feed. Components, two components. Roughage, that is the जिसमें फाइबर ज़्यादा होता है, that is green fodder. Silage, silage means जो भी हरी घास हो जाएगी. hay, जो क्रॉप से बचा हुआ hay मतलब जिसको हम तूड़ा कहते हैं. Legumes, कोई भी जैसे दालों वाला बचा हुआ पार्ट. Concentrates, that is the used in feed of cow and buffaloes which are rich in protein and nutrients. Example cotton seed जिसको आप बिनोला कहते हैं. Oil seeds कोई भी हो सकता है, मस्टर्ड हो सकता है ऑयल सीड, या फिर सनफ्लावर लिली कोई भी ऑयल सीड दिया जा सकता है. ग्रेन्स ऑफ मेज, ओट्स, बार्ले, ग्राम, चना कुछ भी खिलाया जा सकता है. बैलेंस डाइट इंक्लूड्स 20 किलोग्राम ऑफ रफेज एंड 4 किलोग्राम ऑफ कंसनट्रेट्स विद 35 लीटर ऑफ वाटर डेली. Next is about the disease of cattle and buffaloes. This is about the parasitic and infectious. So this is not so important. So just find out the important terms and just note down like cowpox, rinderpest. Okay, so this is very easy and after this only one lecture will be there, one video lecture will be there and the chapter is finished. Try to make the notes. Thanks and